Hey y'all, I know the lighting is really gonna suck. I'm gonna be like red and then who knows, a slew of other colors. I'm actually on my way, I'm on my way to have a chick date with Mary Pesky PCOS and I am super excited. We are going to go see Twilight and have dinner. So I'm not the hugest fan of Twilight, but I don't care. I just want a chick date, and I was actually supposed to go to Twilight with a friend of mine who's way into Twilight, like way into Twilight, and she totally flaked on me. If you are on my Facebook, you've seen me post about a friend that is super flaky, and that's part of the situation. So anyway, we're going, and we actually just had our in-home interview, our first in-home interview, which there are 4 main, like, big interviews for adoption process, at least with our agency. It's the initial intake interview, and then you have an in-home interview, and then you have individual interviews, and then there's one final in-home with a safety inspection. So we have got the intake and the first in-home done, and she wants to get us in for our individuals, not next week, but the week after. So she's really trying to get us through, and I am so appreciative of that. So we're working on our packet of paper, and the hardest part about this part of the application and packet of paper right now is that a big part of it is a lot of parenting questions, and a lot of those parenting questions are assuming that you already have kids, and, you know, what do you do for this, and, you know, what's bedtime, and how do you deal with requests to stay up late, and if you don't have kids yet, you're supposed to answer hypothetically, which is, hypothetically is really a tough thing for us, just because my husband is, I don't want to say he's so against it, but he's so, like, he doesn't really think hypothetically, generally speaking, and he's so adamant that people should just not worry about the hypothetical when, you know, with adoption stuff, they really want you to think about the hypothetical stuff. So he kind of gets frustrated with that. But so we're working on those this weekend. Hopefully we'll have everything except a copy of my driver's license into them some point next week. I really want to send it into them either tomorrow or Monday so that they have it by Thanksgiving. And then after that, I think there's one more packet of paper, or maybe 2. Who knows? As I understand it from adoption, there's always paperwork. We had our class last night. It went really well. We talked about, we did some vignettes about just specific situations that they've had with kids in the last 6 months. And we talked about the power of touch, and ooh, it got really dark, sorry. Oh god, what else did we talk about? We talked about so much, it's hard to wrap it up really quickly. We talked a lot about relationships, and, you know, the dynamic of a relationship with an adopted kid, with each caretaker, and how different it can be with one caretaker to the next, and how, you know, early on kids can be manipulative because they've had to be in their past, and what that can do to a relationship. You know, how kids can really pit you against each other or triangulate the situation so that, you know, here's him and dad, and here's mom, and mom's the bad guy that's saying I'm doing all this bad stuff, but I'm an angel to dad, and dad doesn't believe mom, and then, you know, you got that wedge in between the parents. So we talked a lot about that and how to deal with that and how to make sure that that doesn't happen. And in our in-home interview, my big problem, which, I mean, I know none of you know this, and it's totally way out there, but apparently I just talk a lot, and yeah. So I felt kind of bad for my husband because there was a lot of questions that she was asking that I just kind of started answering, and I tried to give him an in, and she tried to give him a couple ins, but he takes a couple minutes to like formulate his answers sometimes, especially with this hypothetical stuff, that by the time he started answering, or by the time we had just kind of moved on, because we both just kind of chat. And so I felt kind of bad for Jay on that, because I really want him to say stuff, and I really want him to get his voice and his opinion in there, but it wasn't happening as much as it should, and I feel like I just talked too much, and I feel really terrible about that. And so that's something that I definitely know I need to work on. I mean, has never happened before. Yeah. But I need to work on that, and I have been, and I've gotten a lot better, but I still have a far to go. So, other than that, she took a tour of our house, which, it was kind of a mess, to be honest. So, we got a baby proof, and that's the unfortunate thing. I don't really believe that, generally speaking, you need to baby proof, but because we are basically being watched and monitored, and every aspect of our life is being looked into. I'm so sorry about the dark. Basically, because of all that, we have to have baby proofing done. They will not approve us if our house, at least the kitchen and the plugs, are not baby proofed. So we have to do all that. We don't have to have a baby room done, but I want a kid's room set up and ready to go. But we are really moving through it, and I am super duper excited. And this is 7 minutes, so I'm going to end it here. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I will talk to you all later, and I will be uploading a video tomorrow, probably about how to bring up the adoption question. Because usually it's not something you both just assume is going to happen, so how to bring that up if you are the one thinking about it. Other than that, I will see you all later. Bye.